Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Todd Menard. Today, we're going over the White Mountain and surrounding area real estate market statistics for the week ending December 1st. Let's see what we have for numbers. Across the board today, 122 days on market for closed inventory, a month's supply of 9.12, average absorption rate at 10.97%. The average list price this past week, $541,511. Average sale price this past week, $527,235. And our list price to sale price retention was 97.36. Active inventory declined to 0.89 or 8.9% to 839 available properties. Pending is sitting at 12, and closed units for the month of November, month to date at 92. Of course, we'll be cleaning up those numbers. It's going to take a day or two after each new month to really allow the ebbs and flows. Properties that are assessed during last month, but they don't close until this month, type of thing. But we'll have those numbers for you by the end of the week. I'd imagine maybe by Monday, you'll get the month-end report. Looking at new listings taken, we took 15 new properties this week. That's down 58.3%, brings days on market for active to 133 and for closed to 122. Looking at the lower left-hand side, where we get to see the two different sections, the active inventory by price range and the closed transactions. Now, this is closed this past week's numbers of what's closed, not the entire month. We do that on our month-end study as well. But anything that's itemized in red was a contraction in the market, a reduction in units, if you would. And so right now, you can see as far as inventory is concerned, the contractions are in all the different categories. And there you can see the percentage of decline over here in the percent change. Taking a look at the Excel spreadsheet, where we get to really be the expert, because we can see week over week comparisons, same week last year comparisons, month over month and year over year, all on one page. Well, we took those 15 new listings versus 36 the prior period. But again, a year ago, the same period, we only took 16 listings. So again, very indicative of the year end, right? You're getting into that December months. We've got religious holidays. We've got Thanksgiving that we just passed. So people have a tendency not to want to show their homes or have their homes on the market during the holidays. However, for those people that need to sell, it's actually a pretty good time because you have so many fewer sellers out there to compete with. If we take a look at the active inventory, sitting at 839 units, down from 921. We were at 918 last year, so we're down about 80 units. As far as the condo townhouses are concerned, that 839, 68 properties are condo townhouses, 5 factory-built properties, 176 manufactured homes, 1 modular, 41 park models, 6 ranch and farms, 3 multifamily, 543 site-built properties, and 45 new construction. Totals 839. 4 of those happen to be in the REO, which is the real estate owned category, where the bank already owns the property. It's not in foreclosure. It's already been foreclosed upon. So there's 4 properties out there that fall into that category. Looking at pending, sitting at 12 units a month right now for this past week, 31 last week, a week before, 22 was the average same period last year. So again, we try to follow this on the month-end numbers more than we do on the week over week, because this is so capricious, but it does still give us information. Taking a look at closed units for the month to date in November, we're sitting, as I mentioned, at 92, 124 last year. So it's currently looking like it's going to be about a 25% decline in sales. But we're not done yet. So yes, we are on the first of the year, but this is first of the month, but this is this is Monday, so we have today and tomorrow, where anything that did not close was expected to, but didn't close at the end of last week, has obviously been pushed off to today and tomorrow. So depending upon how those are, the settlement sheets go, we'll determine whether that ends up December business or if it ends up in November. But that's one of the reasons why we wait a few days to be able to provide you with the month-end report. So in this past week of what did transact and what did close, we were averaging a 9.12 month supply, 10.97 inventory absorption rate. If we take a look at the average list price versus the prior week, 2 weeks earlier, and we come across and we compare those to where we were last year, same period, we do bounce in this category as well. We like to look at the median price number, and if you slide your eyes all the way across, you'll see that we've been pretty consistent: 390, then a drop to 367, then 400. But again, we were at 372 last year, the same period, 335 2 weeks ago, 390 last week. So it's going to stay in those. We look again at the month-end numbers. I'm interested in seeing what those month-end numbers are. Those are the ones that really we can report historic trends, but these are just weekly trends and what's going on right now. So 122 days on market for the sold units this past week, and this is close to the 133 days for just the average inventory. That they only separate by 11 days, and so not all of the inventory that you see out there is stale. A lot of it seems to be of what's closing and what's being written. You'll see that that's a pretty quick pace. Of course, only 95 of the total, just under 10% of the entire inventory that's in MLS sold. So again, it's a little bit lower than we're used to as far as volume is concerned, especially when we did 124 last year, same period, same month. So list price to sale price retention was a good sign. There's at least a green tick on here somewhere, which is, the list price to sale price retention went up to 97.36. This means that the sellers were this past week retaining about 1.5% more. They weren't giving away off the list price as much as they had been the prior 2 weeks. So this is a good sign, puts more money in their pocket. It also means maybe that the properties that we're selling didn't need as much. Maybe they were in better condition. Maybe it's just seasonality that's causing people to just come in and gobble it up. But the seller retained more, 1.5% more this past week. Looking at last year, 96.48 is where it was at. The sellers were giving up 3.5% in those months, where now they're only giving up 2.5%. So they are retaining even about 1% more than they did last year. So those are some good notes. It means we're still in a relatively stable, even though we are in that winter season. Product's still moving just a lot slower than it did prior. So next week we should have those month-end numbers for you, and I'd be happy to show you that and see what trends we can identify that's taking place through the fourth quarter. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.